Are we live or is this a fake start? They tend to do that a lot. Oh, YouTube loves to give me fake starts. Let's see. Did we actually go live or is it going to restart it in 30 seconds? We'll know in just a moment. See if anybody actually comes in. That will be the dead giveaway. So far, it's looking like a fake start. There we go. No, I think we're good. All right, so this is a real start. Hey, everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. Thought I would sit down, do a live for you guys and gals, give you guys a forearm shot before we get started. Veins are on point, right? Got that catheter running all the way up. Got it running up. Yesterday's live got a lot of views because of the topic. So obviously, rip in peace. Big Lenny. Let's talk a little bit about squatting. Squats are coming back up. Something I said I wanted to do as I continue to cut down, get leaner, get towards having abs, work on aesthetics. I did want to get my squat at least up to 500. That was a goal I set. I wanted at least a 500 squat. Well, I came in, I'm working the SSB the last couple of weeks. I got 470 on the safety squat bar with no sleeves to date, which you guys saw. So that puts me probably out of 500 with a power bar. But I feel like I think what I want to do with that as we continue to again work on aesthetics, I want to get that safety bar up to 500. I personally feel like that from an overall training response, I get a lot out of the safety squat bar. It's harder. It forces me to use more upper back, right? All those things. Brian, I'll get to your question in a second. Good question. You guys go ahead and get some questions flowing, and I'll get to your questions. So don't be afraid to ask questions as I'm covering this intro. We're going to get balls deep in those questions for close to an hour. So you guys want to start preloading them. Let's get them rolling. Remember to click like, though. Also, guys, remember to follow me on the Facebook page. All right, well, let's get over back to that topic. I think I'm going to stick with the safety bar. I want to get that safety bar to at least 500, a little bit deeper. And then I know for a fact that I can go to a straight bar at any time and knock out over 500. I'm probably there now, but I like using the SSB. It's just easy on my shoulders because I'm doing so much benching, so much overhead work, so much incline, trying to make sure my chest aesthetics come up. I really just like using the SSB because I don't have to crank my shoulders up in any way. Plus, I've been doing high bar, and I want that 500 to be high bar. I don't want to have to mess with low bar. So I think that's just what I'm going to do. Is we're doing that, and then we're using the belt squat and everything to build the musculature. And obviously, I want my thighs bigger, but I don't want them to be too big. I'm trying to get that classic aesthetic look, right? Trying to get that somewhere between that Steve Reeves to Bill Pearl to Frank Zane look. That is what I'm shooting for. But all right. So let's come over and let's address some of these questions and topics coming up. Brian DeBrow says, Coach, is there any chance you will switch things up and switch your focus getting back to being brutally strong as possible? No, it's never going to be as brutally strong as possible because I want to be aesthetic and lean, right? I want a golden era classic bodybuilding type physique. That is what we are working towards, and we're getting pretty reasonably close. I've got bodybuilding coaches who are coming in going, yeah, you really are that far away at this point. It's coming along. Do I want to still be strong? Yes. But I mean, let's talk about being strong, Brian. Like, how strong is brutally strong? How would you define that? Because you watched me do an easy 545, it's basically 550 on a deadlift yesterday for a triple. Sorry, on Tuesday, I did it for a triple. And you could tell it was not a 3-rep max. Any doubt I can really pull 600 plus right now? I mean, realistically, extrapolate off that. Same thing. I'm probably going to increase my bench top set because the 315, I feel like I can go heavier, even flat back for my rep work. I'm trying to get the incline. I want a 315 incline, like with a pause. That's kind of like one of my goals, but I'm doing rep work to get there. Like I'm doing 8, 7s, and 8s now with 225 paused. I'd like to get those up to 10s and then start working that up, like get 3 sets of 10 with 225 all paused on that 45 degree. I think that will put me in a good spot. So, I mean, I'm trying to get brutally strong at my rep work. All right. Trying to get brutally strong on the rep work. You know, I would love to get my weighted shins up to 10 for 90 pounds for 10. Doing 55 for sets of 8. So let's get over and let's talk about these things. Omi says, I'm surprised how much Big Winnie's passing is having an impact. You are having a mental impact from internet figures. I mean, seriously, guys, this is why I have stalkers, because of that level of stupidity. I mean, come on. Don't get emotionally involved and hung up on your YouTubers. That's ridiculous. You don't know them. All that you know of anybody you see online, you don't actually know the real person. You really don't. So don't pretend that you think that you do. People fixate on this persona or image they have of these people. Unless you've hung out with them for hundreds of hours, you don't know them. Come on. Learn to let go. And I'm not saying it's not tragic. The guy died way too young and he was funny as hell. You know, so I'm not making a light of that. But why do I have more people asking questions than people who are clicking that like button? That's a problem. Also, you need to follow the page, which the algorithm started kicking up today on that page. I should hop over, add to that. But let's get those likes up. I see how many people commenting versus the likes. They're not equal. All right. Of Macron says, Coach, I was doing strong list 5x5 for a few months. It became too long, so switched to an upper lower 4-day version. Back offsets in the programs, can they be as effective? Make sure you're doing curls in there, dude. At the very least, man, come in and make sure you're doing curls. Do curls for the girls. Right? You need more than just quads for the broads, glutes for the sloops. You need curls for the girls. All right. All right, let's get rid of that nonsense right there. Anyone who comments on that will be immediately banned, by the way. So no second chances. All right. Louis says, don't you think you missed that window by about 20 years for golden arrows? No, why? I'm getting there now. What are you talking about? What are you talking about, man? No, Brian, I can't see the dislikes on lives. All right. Brian says, good point. I agree with you when you say that if a lift doesn't happen in competition, it didn't really happen. From a competitive perspective, are we talking about official? I mean, I don't know how we want to take that. There is a degree of truth to that, though. You know, because they really aren't the same. And look, I don't completely discount someone's awesome gym lift, but you've got to look at the standard of it. What sort of plates did they use? You know, especially something like a deadlift. Whippy bar, bumper plates, even iron plates on a whippy bar, like the thicker iron plates on a really whippy bar on sumo with straps. It could be 100 pounds heavier than you could actually really pull. Does happen. Just saying. Did your ass come off the bench? Did you bounce the bench? Well, how do you know that you can really do 405? You probably can't. You might be 325. You might be 350. And I think that's the point when we're talking about because of standards in place, because they're comparative lifts. Butters McGee, did you ever hang with Big Lenny no? Why would I hang out with them? That seems like why would you even? I'm not trying to be insulting, but why? Of Matt Crenshaw, I always do curls and tricep extensions, also lateral raises for assistance work. I want aesthetics too. Yeah, of course. So then that's fine. So a strong lift base with some extra isolation work for aesthetics works really good. Limitless says, hello, Limitless. K-Sing, would you consider training your tibia in order to protect your knees? No, why? Why would I do that? Butter says bounce them Ted as coach. Got the beat. All right. Brian says, I believe you once said a man's, well, and here's why, Brian, only because of standards in place. I mean, that's the idea. It's not because purely the competition, it's because of the standards that are there. Because people do goof off, jerk off lifts, and they try to pretend like they can compare it to someone else who did a really strict lift, and they're simply not comparable. All right. What's wrong with hanging out limitless? I'm sorry, I shouldn't need to tell you that. I shouldn't need to explain that. Butters McGee, are you familiar with fellow fitness Texan Nick Bear of Bear Nutrition? I mean, yeah, I'm familiar with him. Omi says, Big Lenny was an entertainer and educator, so it's natural for fans to be grieving. You did as well when Louis Simmons died and never met him. Do you think that's a little different? I mean, I guess I simply see that as different, but I didn't grieve. I simply, knew that the strength world lost an amazing coach, right? It wasn't about it being an entertainer. It was literally about making the world different from a strength level and an athletic level. Found Pink Floyd. Started doing a body part split shifting away from a 4-day upper lower. Hope this goes well. I think it will. The extra days off to rest should be good. Yeah, should be fine. Definitely if you're more of an intermediate. I'm assuming, is that the person who mentioned the other thing from strong lifts? It's sometimes hard for me to keep up with who asks these different questions. Butters, why am I going to stand there and talk about who's natural? I don't want to do all that. Kevin says, hey, Jason, when do you need to stop eating when IFing from when you go to bed or shortly? You need to have a time window that works for you. Like, you shouldn't be asking me that question. You should be asking yourself that question. You understand? You've got to find that window that works for your lifestyle and for your appetite. That's what you have to do. My opinion on it is completely irrelevant from someone who I don't know. You don't do any hamstring or quad isolation work. I mean, I did a little bit off and on. At the moment, I'm not. I simply don't need it. I don't need it for my current goals at the moment. And I don't have that much equipment really to do it. Right? Don't really have much in the way of equipment to do it. Paul Torture Mafia, your name, dude. If we have as much data, people actually practicing the list competitively for overhead presses, bench, would it be a better gauge of upper body strength? No, because it uses less muscles. I mean, I don't know what people don't grasp when I say that, and I think the overhead press can be a great lift, right? But if we're going to talk about a test of strength, when you literally take one lift that uses X amount of muscles, moves X amount of weight, and you go to technically a smaller exercise with less muscles involved is the primary movers, and then try to think that it could be better. That doesn't make a lot of sense, right? Less muscle mass technically gets used, and usually a lighter weight on a press than on a bench. I mean, maybe till we get to those weird bent presses people start doing, and at that point, why not just bench? How long do you think conventional double overhand deadlift 4 plates from the rest of 5? I don't know. I mean, that's not a real lift. That's just a grip test. You see the thing? Like that is not a lift. That the lift itself matters. That is a test of grip. It's not a test of strength. Because is a 5-plate deadlift a truly amazing feat of strength? And I venture to say that if you can double overhand 500, you can probably straight up either hook grip or mixed grip quite a bit more. Butters, you already know the laws on that are extremely different. They're completely different from state to state. That is where they're determined on that stuff. Texas has some of the freest laws in that endeavor of pretty much any state, quite possibly at least right, at least equal to, if not better than any other state. So, all right, found Pink Floyd. What upper body lifts are good for building the deadlift? All right, getting rid of all these people, and if you guys address any of them, you will be removed too. Stay on topic. All right, what upper body lifts are good for building for deadlift? Pull-ups and Pendlay rows should do the job, right? Any sort of back work, any sort of grip work, right? Pull-ups and rows. I mean, it doesn't have to be Pendlays. Was it you writing in the chat, Louis? You know, what did I just tell you? That you would be banned for addressing it when you know it wasn't. All right, it's very simple, guys. Can we stick to the topic, please? Can we not address these people? Omar, hello, guys. Hope all are well. Yeah, everything's good. Omar, how you doing, brother? Sip of my water here. Oh, I gotta check something. Okay. Omi says, you know that you can pin chat rules to your live streams like no questions about. Really? I did not know that. How do you do that? I didn't know. I'll figure that out. Is conjugate more equip lifting than raw? No, not necessarily. Gee, Brian, how about you don't take trolling names and you don't pretend to be me or make negative statements about things you might have heard rumors about me. It's pretty simple, dude. It's not fucking hard. Like I shouldn't need to tell you things like that. And like I just said in here, if you address these trolls I just banned, I will ban you too. It's very straightforward. Matt says, Jason, you posted a photo on your Facebook, a photo of a coffee mug with walnuts in it. Was that yogurt? Yes, that was Greek yogurt with protein powder mixed in. It's actually optimal nutrition chocolate whey with walnuts on the top. Butters, no, the heart does not have a test of strength. It's not that type of muscle. Omar says, I'm good. Thanks. Ready for the weekend. I'll work in the gym. Adam says, what does your diet look like? Adam, follow my Facebook, right? I literally post pictures of my grocery shopping every week, and I put up at least one picture of a meal every single day. So if you follow me there, you will know a lot about my diet. You literally get to see the meals that I eat. All right. So again, I actually put that stuff up with pictures, so it's there. Matt, have had the protein Greek yogurt every day for years. Love it. Yeah, that's good stuff. Prinny says 405. Pause. What do you mean? A goal for who? $405. Hopefully you don't mean for me. That's below my ability. Lucas says, does Vegan Gains have good coaching and training? No. Not that I can tell, and I don't dislike the guy at this point. Omar, I see those pictures, but what's the general overall diet look like? Um, it's a balanced diet, Omar. I eat plenty of healthy carbs, plenty of healthy fats, obviously more carbs than the other, lots of protein. Now, I'm not currently really protein overeating. Um, Jacob says, will I see a difference in muscle fat gain if I eat in a small surplus every day of the week versus a big surplus at the beginning of the week and maintenance the rest of the week? Total calories equated. I don't even know how to answer that. I have to slow that down and reread your question entirely. Will I see a difference in muscle versus fat gain if I eat in a small surplus every day of the week versus a big surplus at the beginning of the week and maintenance the rest of the week? Total calories. Who in the hell knows? All right. Do you think if it fits your macros is okay? No, I think the flexible dieting if it fits your macros thing just promotes garbage eating for the most part. Butter says, how can I balance my teddy that can't get that type of muscle activation? Build them up and learn to control. Learn to lift. Should be easy. For bodybuilding 405 high bar ass grass neuroscience was one of your goals. Prenny, are you not watching my training, dude? I just did a 470 safety bar squat today. Come on. I've done rep work with 405 on high bar recently and then went back over to the SSB. I think I've knocked out like 405 for 5 reps on a high bar a little while back and then gone up from there. Like we're talking, I mean, I'm doing rep work with that. So yeah, we're beyond this. All right. But that's okay. You might not be following the vlogs, and that's cool, man. I dig it. Not everyone has time to watch all of them. All right. Young friend, never thought I'd see a lean Jason running a 5-day bro split. What's next? Aliens coming to Earth? Maybe. Watch for it, man. Watch for it. Will the camber bar be coming back? I can't say that it won't, but I have no intentions of doing so. How's that for a fair answer? What's your best tip for perseverance in life? Roll with the punches. Don't let stuff get you down. I mean, you see the stuff I deal with in here, the stuff that gets carried over into my life. You see me roll with it, man. You just have to learn to overcome adversity. You have to learn to just realize that if you just keep getting back up every time you get knocked down, right, that you will be okay. And that's really what it comes down to, just get in the habit of getting back up. What are the chances of you getting back to your roots and going back to conjugate? Right now, probably not. But I'll never say never, right? We don't say never, but at this time, I have zero plans or desires to do so. Lifting, if I want to have a high carb day, a 600 plus, why would you want to eat that junk like that? Butters, I have no idea. I have no idea what caused Lenny's passing. 10 says, hello, Jason. Hello to you. Did the extra 5 pounds you gained last week still stuck at 212 or did you swoosh? No, I'm still sitting at 212, dude. The bodybuilding forums got shut down. Did they really? You're telling me bodybuilding.com forums are gone? I didn't know that. Thanks, coach. Sometimes I feel worthless and I'm on the verge. Oh, man. No, dude, just keep moving with it, Radish. Just keep rolling with it, dude. You can't let stuff get you down. Are power cleans decent for hypertrophy if you don't have technical issues? Not really, no. Love seeing your progress and cut what's your goal weight body fat. I don't have one. I have a look, not a specific number. Why did you just gain so much weight? I think it's because when I added the carbs back in, more carbs back in. It took just a bit to swoosh up. But I mean, I'm leaner, we're fuller. I think everything's good. Keep rolling with it. Butters says, are you familiar with pinwormate of DRM? I've never heard this before in my life. Sorry. Zero fat, easy way to get calories. Yeah, lifting. I'm not going to sign off on you eating thousands of calories of Rice Krispies. Sorry, not going to happen. I'm just not going to sign off on that. What happened to your plyo box? I noticed you got rid of it. Really, I have a black one right there. I have that phone one. You just probably never see it on camera that often. But I have the phone one in there. It is there in the way. It gets moved all the time. I almost use it as a table for like my chalk most of the time. What do you think about pull-ups with lifting straps? No. Prinny says, I never asked about anything but training, yet I keep getting banned. Are you banned right now? Paul Garcia, what muscles do you need to work on in order to have a great physique? All of them. What happened to the wooden plyo box? I got rid of it. I got rid of that years ago. What do you think about Athlean X training? I don't think it's that great, to be honest. What's your take on direct grip training, such as COC grippers, pinch blocks? Having owned all of those and still owning all of those, having owned all of them, I think COC grippers are pretty worthless for grip training. I think pinch blocks are pretty good. Who do you watch on YouTube for fitness? Nobody. Whether it's for information, just seeing how they're progressing, if at all. I don't. Why do you get rid of it? A whole lot of reasons. I don't want to go into all of it. Do people or women ever honk and yell? Not that I know, not for the weighted vest walks. I mean, people say things, but honk or yell. Paul Garcia, have you seen Alpha Destinies? Why are you calling him by that goofball silly name that he was smart enough to get rid of? Why don't you call him Alex Leonidas? It's a way better name. Like, it's almost insulting to the guy to use that silly incel name he started when he was a kid. He's a grown man now with a grown man's name. At least give him enough respect to use the name, right? Alexander Leonidas. No, I haven't seen it yet. Butter says you look badass with the best, dude. It's just a training tool. Do you sympathize with Sean Strickland? Who and why am I sympathizing with? Would you tickle fight with Cal and Muscle? Let's get rid of you. A lot of bodybuilders use this approach. Do you use carb cycle? No, I don't carb cycle. Trini says, I'm 41, advanced lifter on TRT. Can I hope for PRs while recomping? Possibly. Omi says, you taught us about Milo the Bull and progressive overload. Will you be bumping the weight on the vest during your walks? No. Why do I need to? I have to actually get a different vest and setup. I kind of put the biggest plates they sold with it or in there now. I don't even use the smaller ones. Sean Nalawali has a great YouTube. I remember Sean always had good information. Hey, Chad, I said I don't feel like going into the details as to why I tossed the box. She's been asked by a lot of her fans, actually, Butters, if she'll do a joint live stream. But right now, I'm not going to do it yet. Maybe one day. Do you drink whey protein? Yes. I know you're in a different place now, but Strap-on still has an all. Yeah, Matt. I mean, but he was a kid. Like, why would I continue to make fun of something from someone's past? Right? I mean, he's grown beyond that. There's no point in still doing that, dude. You know, he's grown beyond it. Brian says, I love the names you used to give people, the funny, the booty warrior, Strap-on, Jeff Nichols. I just came up with it, man. Redmond says, you're looking ripped, coach. Thanks, brother. I kind of miss Mike Chang. Mike Chang was definitely an Hunter Devo says, is doing good morning to place of squats okay for building legs and squat strength? I'm able to hit. No, it's going to build, not going to build your quads though. You're going to need to build your quads too. You can't use the good morning as a complete replacement for the squat. Can you hit your natural limit with Ice Cream Fitness? No, dude, it's a novice program. Chad Casey said, you're a beast, bro. Appreciate it. Butter says, Michelle is fired. Yep, yes, she is. Prendy says, I'm already pretty lean, like 15%, and I'm finding it hard to keep my lifts up. Honestly, how do you do it? Butters, man, dude is dead. We don't need to be making fun of dead people. Hey, Brian, I'm not going to go into details of all the drinking. I don't think we need to go there. I wouldn't say I was a bad alcoholic. I would say I had a bit of a drinking problem and I needed to quit for a lot of reasons. My advice to you, try to quit cold turkey. And if that doesn't work, then you need to consider a program, depending upon how bad it is, right? Go join the 12-step program if you need to. If you are unable to quit on your own, I would always say give it a try first. And if that doesn't work out and then you need further help, that's where you go. Right? AA has a good track record. Radish, I don't care if you play video games. I quit video games because I feel like they're a waste of time. They're a waste of time, productivity. You don't make money doing it. I have no interest, and they're socially isolating and they don't have any skills that carry over to anything. Nothing left to show for it. Just my opinion. You can do whatever you want, dude. It's not my problem. Our Candido's programs, you had no Candido's programs left him crippled and lots of people who followed them. Why would you do that? 10-10, would you play Sultans of Swing? I need to learn it. I learned a little bit of it over a year ago. I played some of it. Okay. I probably eat 40 to 50 grams of fiber a day. Can we have a progress update on client Lewis? No, I'm keeping his stuff private for a lot of reasons. Do you use Pam spray when you cook over eggs? I a lot of times do a little bit of an olive oil spray. Prendy says, do you honestly believe alcohol is a poison or do you mean poisonous? No, it is literally a poison. Candido can't lift heavy anymore. He had to drop out of powerlifting. He's beat up. Right? Ever knew I didn't want to leave it up. I didn't feel I needed to leave it up. I made my point. Do RDLs have an advantage over regular deadlifts for hamstring hypertrophy? We could get into a lot of debates about that. Hey, Paul, no, I'm not going to go into the difference and explain. You could go do your own research. An alcoholic is someone who really struggles to quit having a drinking problem. Not necessarily a full-blown alcoholic, but could be on the path towards that. Someone who their drinking causes them some problems, some actual problems in their life, right? Has some negative consequences. What's up, Avenue? 10-10, do you think alcohol can have therapeutic uses? No, I don't think so, not really. It's a depressant, it's a poison, it's a depressant. Is Radish a client? No. Found Pink Floyd. Lucas, you asking the things I posted them here on the channel in the community tab. Matt says, did standing calf raise with the barbell today and it was different than the leg press calf? Yeah, it's definitely different. Definitely different. I like it. Ball torture. Says thoughts on power cleans. I don't think they're that good of a hypertrophy exercise. Brian, because I've definitely had family members. I've had relationships with alcoholics. Uh, I've lost people I cared about to drunk drivers, and I've seen the negative consequences on society, the negative consequences on myself. I've seen the data on it. It's a terrible poison. Um, Lifting says his ex-boyfriend died from the withdrawal from alcohol. It was horrible. In the end stage, he couldn't control body functions. Yeah, it's just pretty bad. How much is genetics and how much is coaching play part in powerlifting? What are we looking for? I don't know what you're looking for as an answer. They both kind of matter, don't they? Hey, coach, how are you, man? Truly a prophet. Every single demise prediction you made has happened, and this one was a big one. Honestly, I believe everything you say from now on. And I'm not happy about that, bro. I'm not happy about the fact that those predictions came true. Stimulants, too, such as the ones doctors prescribe. 1010, if you're going to positively promote alcohol, I'm going to cut you out of here, by the way. Just letting you know. I don't want alcohol positively promoted on any of my social media. Okay? I'm just going to let you know now. All right. Do you still cool with clients cleaning the first rep on overhead press? I mean, it depends if they want to, but generally, most of them probably just do the rack. Any experience with clients in China? Nope. Eating closer to bedtime encouraged better sleep. It can be for carbs. Machi says his testosterone is lowered by medication he's taking. Is he still able to gain muscle? Yeah, you can gain muscle. It may be a hair slower. May not. Would you say Brits are on average healthier than Americans? I don't know. Coach, have you ever pressed 2 days in a row? Yes, but I don't generally recommend it. How do you minimize stress from work? That's a whole topic, right? You'd have to do a lot of research into stress management. Do you like soccer? I've never even watched a soccer match. Most important in powerlifting, coaching, and good genetics. Lucas, how do we answer that? Do you do dumbbell overhead press? I struggle getting them in a position with 80s. I've done them fairly light, not heavy. If you can no longer add weight to the bar, is it more beneficial to add more reps or add more sets? You should be doing usually close to as many reps as you can. Why are you trying to add reps? You should have already been adding the reps. Excuse a good question. Work has been overtaking my life and interfering with lifting of late. You guys have to learn to minimize it. You got to learn to let go. You have to learn to set boundaries with your work. You've got to learn to manage your sleep, manage your thoughts. It's a whole lot to it. Just needs mop said it hurts, but you did say the truth back then, and it happened to be the truth now. So honestly, the winner of all this is you, sad. But here we are. You're still standing, and they are not. Benji says Brits drink way too much alcohol. Yeah, they do. Butters, you want to do a coaching program like mine? Then hire me. Pretty simple. Would you ever move out of the U.S.? No, I have no intention of doing that again. All right, 1010. Rahesh says, I would recommend not getting emotionally invested in people at work. Well, unless they're your friends outside of work, too. Coach, have you considered doing a live training? Now, I'm not really interested in doing a live training. Did you see the new volume study? It's a joke. No, I haven't seen the newest one yet. There's a new one. I haven't seen it. I suppose it will make its rounds eventually, though. Right? Hey, Butters. You see where you're going in a direction you're not going to be coming much longer here. All right. I have no interest in moving out of the U.S. I have no interest in chasing Southeast Asian women. Do you lift? Bastion says, I understand why some of it, because there's so many trolls, Bastion. There's way too many trolls and stalkers who come in here. Matt says, Jason, having lived in the UK, were you ever an Oasis guy? I don't like Oasis at all. Jason, would you ever consider adding cables to your home gym like a functional trainer? Not right now. Do you get recognized in public? Yes, obviously. Paul, I can see why online is appealing to you because you don't have to leave the house, but income ceiling is pretty capped. No, it's pretty good, actually. Thoughts on intermittent fasting until evening. Some say it's not nearly as helpful for glucose regulation as morning window. We can get into debates on that. I personally prefer the morning fasting. Omi says, has any of your friends ever mocked you for not drinking it? No, they're cool with it. Do you keep up with any athletes competing in strongman in the current talent pool? Only loosely. Yeah, but Bastion, he went into that area that he knows is a problem area, right? He knows that I've been stalked by one of those channels and that there's a conflict with them, and yet he's choosing to bring it up anyways. Pretty straightforward, and I don't feel like addressing it any further. So if people want to keep dragging it into my channel, then they can go away. Matt says, thoughts on cable overhead extensions for triceps as opposed to dumbbell behind the head. Big difference for whatever's most comfortable. I think you're going to have to go with what's most comfortable, what feels right between those two. All right. Paul, I'm not going to go into the details of my income with all that. You're not going to do what I do with it because you don't have the outreach. So it's going to be a completely different business model. Unless you build a big following somewhere, then you could have a similar business model. Do you do photos? Hey, Butters, by simply not being weird. The best way, if you see me in public, to get a photo with me is to calmly approach me and go, dude, I like your videos. Are you Jason Blaha? I like your videos, dude. Can I get a picture? See how easy that is? But if you act really weird, I'll tell you, you get the fuck away from me. Just don't act like a weird person. Don't act like psycho or anything. It's pretty straightforward. Just be like, hey, are you Jason Blaha? Awesome. Can I chat with you for a minute? All right. Pink Floyd says, greatest fitness year. I appreciate the donation, brother. Thank you so much. Ben G says, thoughts on Greg Doucette going after Mike Israel? Greg, I don't know the context of your post. Sorry. That's just people make too many questions. Well, I mean, they could stick with the right stuff. Exquisite. No, I don't want to go live in another country. I don't know what part of I don't want to do that you guys struggle with. Like, it seems like a pretty straightforward answer. All right. Matt says, signing off, Coach. Great live as always. Best channel on this platform. Cheers. Thank you. Exquisite. I guess I feel like I need to go back to the line and say no means no. Like, maybe this is a problem a lot of guys seem to have a problem with in society. No means no. All right. It's pretty straightforward. Your opinion on high rep squat sets with lightweight coach, say 20 or more? Probably not for the most part. Have you had weirdos approach you ever? Yes, but it's actually a small minority. The majority of people actually know how to behave like normal human beings when you bump into them, believe it or not. But yes, I've definitely had weirdos. Um, Coaches, 100,000 use a lot for video, no serious use. Is squatting above parallel a complete waste of time? I don't know that it's a waste of time. It's maybe not optimal. Um, well, exquisite. It's because I kind of feel like I've said numerous times in so many streams I don't want to live outside of the U.S. And I said it again in this one, and then you're still kind of like, all right. You see what I mean? But doesn't this country appeal to you? Doesn't that a country? Doesn't Thailand? Doesn't Dubai? What about Ireland? But Ireland has lots of redheads, coach. I mean, do you like what part do you guys not get? You know what I mean? I said I don't want to live outside of the U.S. again. I just feel like it shouldn't be that complicated, right? Shouldn't be that complicated to understand. The Dubai thing is weird. I have a feeling those bodybuilders go over there aren't doing anything. They don't want to publicize. Yeah, a lot of that. Ashton says stalkers sometimes heavy dope users and dangerous people. Yeah, they're usually obviously weirdos. To deadlift 400, what would your good morning have to be at? I don't know. Honestly, I don't even know that we could make that sort of conversion. Ashton says, in most time belong to extreme, not conservative, they belong to various extremist movements. They may not even be conservative. No butters wide. No, people don't ask me things like that ever. I've never had anyone ask me to do that. Wow. Exquisite. You must like tax thin. I acknowledge that you don't want to move. Okay. Some people at my job know about your channel. Cool, man. Butter says all gym bros know Coach Blaha, right? Hey, Brian, if you want me to advise you on business model or social media, you're going to have to get a consultation. I'm not going to go into the specifics of what I make. Obviously, my YouTube is not my primary income source at this point. All right, my coaching pays way more than my YouTube. The YouTube feeds my coaching now. Bastion says, well, I used to be pretty famous. Yeah, in the lifting world. Only says, are there other famous fitness YouTubers in Houston? Yep, quite a few. Quite a few. No, it's not hundreds of millions. I think my channel's got about 90 million views over the time it's been there. Pretty much. Coach is a celebrity. Yep, internet celery right there. For what it's worth. Guys, it's not always all it's cracked up to be. You deal with some crazy, some obsessed people. You deal with some stuff, has its goods and its bads. All right. So, do we have any other useful? I still agree with certain parts of libertarianism. I'm just not that political these days. Right? Paul, my channel is growing though. It's had a nice slow upward trend. The cutting has worked wonders, actually. That's been one of the best things. So I'm going to continue to work on physique. That has its own thing for getting clients and stuff that I want. So it's all good. So I don't know what you mean by not focusing on it. Right? Then you turn Bastion. I actually don't even have a political ideology now. So I don't know why people think at this point, I don't know why people think that I have a specific ideology. I don't classify myself as anything. Again, I'm not a particularly political person. I agree with both sides on a number of different issues, right? And it's pretty simple. I look at stuff and go, what's reasonable, what's logical, what's workable, and I don't buy into a specific ideology. I look at issues of what's reasonable, what works, what's good, what's bad, what would make you a decent person or not. Do you ever consider going back to 100% plant? Probably not, but I think we should be largely plant-based. I think it's better for health overall. All right. Mhm. Yeah, Paul, there's definitely been a slow upward trend. But a lot of that was doing things that weren't going to necessarily get me clients, and that's the difference. What was the biggest impact? I don't even know specifically what all it was. It was realizing, just coming to a point of maturity, realizing that, quite frankly, more people care about it, right? More people care about aesthetics. You get more clients, right, who have more money. Like, quite frankly, the aesthetics clients versus the pure strength ones are oftentimes consistently better paying clients who are can afford to pay on time. It's good for business. Plus the fact that I've realized more and more it's healthier to be leaner. Our life is better when we're leaners. There's a lot going on. Do you sell shout outs or birthday messages? Yeah, I'd probably do that. Uh, right. Only I'm not really going to discuss the Texas secession movement. I have my own thoughts on it. Do I philosophically like the idea? Are there aspects to the concept of it that appeal to me? Yes. Do I think that it's a good idea right now? No. I think so. I think that's the way I would put it. I'm not actually a supporter of it, even though I can appreciate a lot of the ideas behind it. Hey, Paul, I don't even remember what all details you're trying to come down to. Did I say X, Y, or Z? Again, you're asking me for fine details of things from my business model, of what I did or didn't say about it. Keep in mind, you guys change words all the time. People change single words and stuff I say. You and Michael Hearn are my favorites. I appreciate that. Yeah, Bastian, I think, well, I thought I made that clear in all my history, and people kind of saw the journey. Yeah, I was sick and had to rebuild myself from pretty much nothing, from being fat and unable to walk. But I did it. Butters, do you ever think like, what? No, Butters, why would you? Butters, you're weird, kind of getting weird too, dude. Did you catch the Northern Lights last night? They were amazing. No, I didn't. Maybe they don't. Maybe I should remind them of that, Bastian. Some of the old stuff, the old pictures. Yeah, yeah. I had to rebuild from nothing, literally. All right. Michael Hearn is a workhorse. His work, dude. I mean, again, that's what I tell people. Say what you will about Mike, but his training, his discipline, all that's on point, right? Way on point. All right. We're at 53 minutes. I think it's time. Go ahead and wind this down. Right. So, give you guys a forum shot before we go. Hope it's been informative. Love all of you guys and gals, and I'll talk to you next time.